Welcome back to Let's Get Weird with your host, Sam Altieri. It's me. What's up? I'm so stoked you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about what it means to actually be a trailblazer and really cultivating the skills of being a trailblazer, showing up as a trailblazer, acting like a trailblazer, the energy of trailblazing. Because what I am getting is that because you're listening to the show, you are a visionary, a leader, a coach, a healer, somebody who is here to create something that does not exist. And a trailblazer, quite frankly, is somebody who forges and does not follow. And so we're going to talk about that today. You can see maybe kind of in the background of my video, we got Heffy over here. So we'll see how it goes. I took him for a run this morning. And because we live at like 8,000 feet, just under 8,000 feet, running is really challenging. It's really hard to breathe at this elevation. Running at this elevation is a whole other beast, but for Hef, he really can't do more than a few miles now just at elevation, even if it's not that hot out. I did look up like research on German Shepherds. Well, he's a German Shepherd Husky, but like German Shepherds to see what they could tolerate for exercise because like I want to keep him active and fit, but I don't want to like overdo it. And they said like 45 minutes of exercise. We go for longer walks, but anyway, so I'm pretty sure he's just going to pass out this entire episode and we'll see what happens. But he often will come over, like whenever I'm teaching calls and Zoom and facilitating things, he will always come over and say hi. And I feel like he just like picks up on like the energy. I think animals do that. So, okay. So we're going to talk about trailblazing. The reason why I even wanted to talk about trailblazing in the first place is because at the end of the day, so many people follow you and you follow so many people. Like on the internet, yes, but in real life. And I think that when we are trailblazers, we have a tendency to want to look outside of ourselves for the answers or like the blueprint or like what is the fucking 10-step formula to being successful and like building whatever it is that you're building. And, I've bought into all those things over the last few years. And what I always came to recognize is there's no blueprint. There is no fucking blueprint. A few weeks ago, I spoke at my friend Chelsea and Caitlin's event here in Denver called Fempire. And one of the things that came through me was that there is no blueprint. And it resonated so deeply for people because I think that we want to latch onto something. We want like the answer, and that's really not how it works for us visionary trailblazers, innovators, disruptors, those of us who are here to create a whole new paradigm and to create things that have not existed yet, right? And that truly is what a trailblazer is. Like we are here to pave the way and pave the path. Nobody else has created the thing that we are here to create, which is why I think that in a lot of the online world, there is a lot of the same. There is a lot of the same offerings, the same ways that people are doing things, the same ways that people are marketing, because they actually aren't connected to their own inner authority and their own brand voice. And they don't trust that enough. They don't trust it enough to use their voice to sell or to invite or to create their things. They think they need to follow somebody else's blueprint. Now, this is so ironic because last year, at the beginning of the year, I hosted a program called the 100K Blueprint. It was actually it was like a free class, right? 100K Blueprint. And I gave kind of the bare bones structure, right? You need offers, you need to create an audience, you need to scale, you need visibility, right? But what I've recognized is in that entire program, I think we had 40 people go through that program. And everyone was like, this was the most comprehensive like business program ever. What I've recognized is yes, I gave the blueprint, right, of what you need, but I didn't tell people what to build because I would be doing them a disservice because that's not how we create. We create from, I think, as trailblazers, we create with energy. And when I say that you could say God, source, universe, your guides, your angels. We create either with that or with other people. We get ideas from other people. We innovate. We take something from a different industry and bring it into the industry that we are in, or we bring two industries together. And the thing with trailblazing and the thing with disrupting and the thing with innovating and the thing with leading is that Nobody's ever done what you're doing. So there's actually no blueprint, right? There is literally no formula that is out into the world that is going to tell you step one is this, step two is this, step three is this. And not even chat GPT, I use chat a bunch, and not even chat can tell me my next move. Even if I was to say, I've done this too, just to see what it would say. I've asked chat, like, given what you know about me, create a 6 or 12-month business plan. I wanted to see what it would spit out. And it spit out a bunch of stuff. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Right. So at the end of the day, nobody actually knows except you. And so the work that is required of you is to actually stop looking outside of yourself, stop comparing yourself, stop following other people's blueprints, and stop investing in strategy, because your strategy is actually your energy. Your strategy is your excitement. Your strategy is what lights you up. And you're like, oh, I'm really good at this, or I love this, or I could do this forever. That's your actual strategy. And that is how I've built a 7-figure brand. Guys, I have to just really tell you right now, I've made over $1 million being myself and doing what lights me up. And anytime somebody tells me what to do, I automatically want to do the opposite, because I'm such a rebel at heart. And I feel like you probably are too, because I think most trailblazers and innovators and disruptors, we are that. We don't want to follow the norm, or else we would go work for somebody else or go follow in somebody else's footsteps. But when you are here to lead something, a mission, build a legacy, leave behind something, there's going to be a level of like, nobody else could ever possibly bring this to life except you. And I want to tell you why. I want to tell you why nobody else could bring it to life except you. Because number one, your life experience, right? I just did a TikTok on this. And by the way, if you're not over on TikTok, I highly suggest it. Even if you just make an account and start fucking around on there, it is an incredible platform. I had so much resistance towards it, but I started posting every day starting on April 10th. I made a promise to myself to post for 365 days. And we just hit, well, this morning I woke up and we hit 444 followers. Angel numbers. But the platform, when I posted on that, I said something about this, like, the disruptor, the innovator, the trailblazer is here to forge, not follow. And that really, really freaking resonated, right? But at the end of the day, there's no blueprint. There's no thing that you can follow. But most importantly, you really do have to go within, right? And I was sharing this on TikTok. The thing that you wish existed doesn't exist yet, because you are here to create it, right? Now, because of that, I'm going to say it again, and then I'm going to go into it. The thing that you are here to create doesn't exist because you're here to create it. Okay. And sometimes I think we can have this limiting belief. I know that I've had this many times where I'm like, there's no way that I could do that and people would want it, or people would buy it, or people would join it. And so part of me thinks I need to shift it or do something different in order for people to get it or want it or whatever. But the truth is, it never works. It never works anyways long term. It's like, if I just trusted my gut the whole time and built exactly what I wanted to be a part of and exactly what I wanted to do, I wouldn't have gotten myself into a situation where I'm doing something I don't want to do. So anyways, we have to create what we wish existed. Now, in terms of being the trailblazer, I want you to think about the fact that your life experience is your curriculum. And that curriculum was given to you very specifically so that you could move through it, you could develop the tools to navigate it, and you could show up fully in your power and alchemize all of the pain and all of that stuff and turn it into your gift. And I think that if you are not in a higher state of consciousness, you will likely get trapped in a victim loop where you feel like life is happening to you and you can't seem to get out of it. And you're like doing this, or you're like spiraling or looping, as I like to call it. And in order for you to unloop yourself, you have to decide to transcend that story and create a new story about you're the one that's here to lead the mission and the movement, and all the things that have happened seemingly to you actually happened for you so that you have something to teach on, right? If I hadn't gone through all that I've gone through, there's no way that I would be here with a show with growing in my TikTok community, growing on Instagram, growing a business, growing anything. There's just no way I would not have done it. I wouldn't have started this podcast back in 2018 if I hadn't gone on a fitness journey. I haven't talked about this in a long time, but the reason why I even embarked on a weight loss and health and fitness journey is because my boss, when I was an architect, she said something to me like, you look a lot more fit than you are, or no, you're a lot more fit than you look. That's what she told me, which obviously is really fucked up to say. But at the time, I didn't really know even how to respond. And then when I went home and I kept replaying that scene in my head, I was like, I was so mad, but I was also like, she's right. Like, I was actually like cycling and biking and doing all this stuff. But I was overweight, and I was very overweight especially I'm short. And it's like the shorter you are, it's like excess weight. It just doesn't look good on us when we are short because we don't have so much surface area, to distribute it. And I felt really insecure about my body. I was hiding, and I don't know, just like that comment really sparked something in me. And that comment, though it was painful and hard to hear from somebody else, it changed my life. Like, that is why I started going to the gym and working out and taking care of myself and putting in the work. It takes I'm not going to lie to you, like, it takes conscious effort to change your body, change your life, and a lot of practice and a lot of repetition. And if it wasn't for that painful comment, I don't think I would have pursued it. I think I would have felt like a victim in my body. And so, I decided to pursue that path. I started going to the gym. I started eating healthier. I started, walking and drinking water and all this stuff. And my body started changing, and I started to feel in control of my life, and I started to feel empowered. And after a few years and about 20 pounds lost, I thought to myself, something, I want to help other people feel this good. Like, I felt amazing. I felt the most confident I ever felt. I started asking guys out. I mean, I asked Kurt out. I asked my own husband out. Now my husband. I would have never had the confidence to do that if I didn't feel good in my body. I just wouldn't have. And so, shout out to my boss, because if she didn't make that comment about me, there's no, like, I wouldn't have anything that is in front of me. I wouldn't have the home I'm in. I wouldn't have my husband. I wouldn't have my dog. I wouldn't have my friends. I wouldn't have pursued entrepreneurship. I wasn't even trying to pursue it, So, but what I did is I turned that shit into purpose and meaning in my life. And I started to feel good. And then I started to help other people do it. Right. And so I had to be the alchemist of my life. Now, at the time, I didn't even know what I was doing. All I knew is I wanted to feel better, because I looked in the mirror and I did not like what I saw, and I did not like how I felt. And I wanted that to change. I was so sick of hiding in my clothes. And that is the impetus. Like, if you go all the way back, episode 1, it was all about fitness. It was all about fitness and nutrition and having a better relationship with your body and food and loving yourself. And, those are still core themes that I feel like run through all the work that I do. It doesn't matter if you have where you are in your business, like, this stuff still impacts you. And yeah, so like, going back to, before I went on this little story tangent, truthfully, the things that have happened for you are really for you. Like, they really are. It's not like you're getting punished. It's not like the universe is mad at you. It's not like you just were dealt a bad deck. It's often the people that have gone through the most pain that are here to spread the most light. But we often, if we don't have the tools or the mentorship, and I don't even mean mentorship as in, paid, but I just mean the example, right? The people that are going to expand you and expand your consciousness and show you what's possible. If you told me that I would have built what I built by now in my life, I would have laughed at you. I'd been like, what are you talking about? What does that even mean? What does it even mean? Because I was in 9-to-5 land. I was so deep in the matrix. I was so in my ego, and, I obviously still have ego moments, but it's like, I didn't even know that a life like this is possible. And it's really because I feel like I just met the people that could guide me And I said yes to it, even when I was fucking terrified. And I spent a lot of money. I mean, I invested a lot of money in myself because there was some part of me that knew I was here for a bigger purpose. I didn't always know what that meant. I thought that was going to be in architecture. I thought that was going to be me building schools abroad. I really did. But it wasn't that, and it didn't work out. And I got rejected from this like program where I was going to travel the world and build houses, spend 1 month in a country and just travel for 11 months. It was called the World Race, and I applied and I didn't get it. And I was honestly such a coward that I told my bosses that I did get it. And then I ended up telling them, oh, I actually didn't get it, but I'm still quitting because I didn't have the balls to be like, I'm done, because I was so scared. I was so terrified to leave that world, that security. And when I did start pursuing I kind of saw myself as like a freelancer. I was doing freelance design and freelance photography, and I started a little to do like personal training and stuff like that, like in the gym. It felt so liberating because I was like, this is how I actually want to spend my time. This is how I want to spend my life. And I really did start embarking on a journey of trust and not of safety. And, I've gotten myself into seasons again after that where I chose the safer option rather than the one to trust. But, I think that as people who have gone through some stuff and are here to alchemize that and to, make an impact and leave something behind, whether it's a book, a message, a legacy, a body of work, whatever it is, when you know that is why you are here, and there is a level of like, damn, like I got a mission, baby. There's a part of you that actually first has to surrender to the mission and surrender to your assignment, because not everyone wants to, take the assignment and go do it. I've never been in the military. I have a lot of close friends who have spent many years in the military. And I think about it a lot like that, where they're given an assignment. They have to go do it. They don't really have an option. I mean, but they chose that. The thing with us humans is like our soul chooses the assignment, but our human is fighting for their fucking life. Like there is no part of our actual human experience in our ego that wants to go fulfill the mission. Like it's so much work and energy work and like emotional intelligence and effort. And it's like, it's hard in an internal way. It's not as much physical labor, I would say, but it's hard emotionally when you have to go through all your sludge and you got to heal your inner child and make amends with your parents or your family or family of origin. And oh my God, like you become so self-aware that you're like, oh, I can't even sometimes it would just be easier to go back to the way it was before you were awake, but it's never actually worth it. Like it's never worth it to go back. Of course we want to be, visionary people and disruptors and leaders. And like, you can't really be that if you are asleep. Like you just can't. So you have to break out of the matrix first. You have to recognize that everything that's happened for you is actually, your life curriculum, and it's up to you to alchemize it. Like you have all of the content and all the curriculum right in front of you, but are you going to surrender and accept the mission and the assignment? That's the question. Are you, or are you going to push it away? Most people who push it away have raging anxiety. I have a core belief that people that struggle with a lot of anxiety or have sleep problems are not listening to themselves. Okay. I've seen it time and time again. I've actually worked with a lot of clients who have major sleep issues. They start working with me. I help them get on their aligned path. They're actually doing what they want to do. And guess what happens? Oh my God, I'm sleeping through the night. Oh my God, I'm no longer anxious as fuck. Because anxiety is a sign that you have an unmet need. Anxiety is a sign that you are not listening to something. You feel anxious. It's not just a random thing. I have a very strong belief on this. Like, anxiety is actually bullshit as a mental health thing. It's not a mental health thing. It's you're not listening to yourself. You're literally not listening to your own inner guidance. That is the anxiety. It's you and your inner guidance not being in harmony. So you are living one life, your human is living one life, and your soul is trying to live the other life. And what's happening is they're clashing, and that clash is anxiety. You have unused energy. That's what I feel like anxiety is. Unused energy, untapped potential. That is anxiety. And when you recognize that your anxiety is trying to give you something, it's a gift, you will stop trying to make it go away. I mean, I struggled with anxiety for so many years. I just didn't know what it was. And I also didn't have somebody to guide me through that. And I hope that what I am saying right now is landing. And if this makes you feel a certain way, like say you have anxiety or you have a prescription for anxiety or whatever the fuck, I want you to take a cold, hard look at yourself and ask yourself, are you actually listening to your own inner guidance? Are you following the path of your intuition, or are you doing what you think you should do and living in your head? Like what's actually going on, right? When you start trusting yourself and living according to what feels good for your intuition and where your body wants to go, I'm telling you, your anxiety will lessen, you will lose weight, your cortisol will go down, your acne will start to disappear. I mean, it is crazy how so much of our stuff is psychosomatic, okay? Now, I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but the anxiety piece is relative to being a trailblazer, because the reason why the anxiety exists in the first place is because there's no blueprint. And we go to school and we follow the teacher and we become teachers' pets, or we follow the rules and we're trying to find the rules. Our human is trying to find the rules to make sense of what it means to actually be living on planet Earth, okay? But the truth is, your human will never be able to logically comprehend whatever the fuck is happening, because the only person that knows that is your soul. And your soul does not speak in English. Your soul speaks in sensation and intuition and nudges and people. You need to pay attention to the signs. There is literally signs all around you all of the time. The people that are the most intuitive, and I feel like how I've become so intuitive and so psychic, is because I am a really good listener. I listen and I notice when someone says something and it sparks a little something, and I'm like, huh, I need to go explore that, or huh. And that is how we become intuitive. That's how we follow the path of our soul. That's how we heal anxiety. You don't need to take medication. And obviously I have a very strong belief on this, but it's how I was raised also. My parents, like, we never used any, I think I've had ibuprofen like a few times in my life. I've never really used anything other than like homeopathic or natural remedies, because I feel like so much of what is going on in our physical bodies, in our lives, if we don't like what's going on, it's a result of something unresolved inside. And when we can go within and kind of ask ourselves, what is it? Or what am I ignoring? Or what am I pretending not to know? That's a great question. What am I pretending not to know? That question is going to give you so much fucking insight. I'm telling you right now. What am I pretending not to know? I can't tell you the amount of people that have come to me feeling like so scared. It's just that we're scared, and it's okay. Like, I have goosebumps as I say it. I want you to know it's okay. I want you to know that it really is okay to be terrified. But fear and excitement are actually the same chemical reaction in the body. So if we consciously choose to let that fear be excitement, then we can move forward with excitement instead of letting us fear hold us back, right? The only reason why we don't have everything we want is because there's fear. It's like us, fear, the end result, whatever that means. And that's really the battle that's going to happen probably for the rest of your life as a trailblazer, as a disruptor, as an innovator, as a visionary, as a coach, healer, guide. It doesn't really matter what you are. You just know that you're here to make a difference. There is going to be the path of your soul and then the path of the ego. And it's up to you to discern between those two. I'm happy to do another episode where I kind of talk a little bit more about that. I think it's something that we're going to be really talking about a lot in the green room. I've talked about this a little bit here, but I just feel called to have this like safe haven of people who get it and are like, dude, you got this. Like, just go for it. You should do it. You know, it's funny, but like the more elite entrepreneurs, let's say, or businesses that hire me to come in, it's like I have a level of conviction that helps them feel more confident taking the action. And I think sometimes that's all we need. We just need to borrow belief from other people and ourselves. You know, I know I did that. I had to do that even when I left my 9 to 5. I don't know if I've shared this on the podcast, but like my boyfriend at the time, he like paid off one of my student loans to help me have less bills to pay basically once I left my 9 to 5, because I wasn't going to have like a steady paycheck or whatever. And I did not have a strong receiving muscle at the time, so I wouldn't let him do it unless I paid him back. And I was kind of kicking myself like after I learned about feminine energy and receiving and being able to like receive a gift. I just don't think I was in a place to receive like a $15,000 gift at the time. So we made a contract and made a promise, and I actually paid him back before Kurt and I got married because we wanted to like close that loop. But it was just one of these things that I was like, I didn't feel fully confident in myself to make the leap. I was fucking terrified. And so no matter where you are in your life, it doesn't matter if you're on the edge of leaving a job or you're on the edge of leaving a relationship or whatever. It's like you need people. You need core people, and core people that believe in you and that are not going to help you go the safe route. They're going to help you go the highest route. You know, there's a difference between your highest self and the easy self. And often your highest self requires a lot of uncertainty, and it requires your nervous system to be okay with handling more and more discomfort. You know, the bigger you build things, the bigger you scale, the bigger you grow, the more discomfort you have to hold in your physical body. And it's amazing how much our capacity grows, especially as we build brands and businesses, because there is so much uncertainty, right? And our human is like, ah! And it's like we're going on a roller coaster, like unstrapped, and we're like, we're fucking delusional, but we believe in our mission, and this is amazing. And then your human's like, what the fuck are we doing? And your soul's like, yes. And your human is like, oh my God, this is a car crash. But it always works out. That's the beautiful thing. It always works out, and it always has worked out. That's all the evidence that you really need. You've always been fine, right? Like, you truly have always been fine. Everything has always worked out in your favor. You've always been able to look back and see the pieces and be like, oh my God, you know? But again, going back to the very beginning of when I was talking about when my boss made that comment about my body, and then I pursued the path of wellness, and then I became a personal trainer because of it. And I could have like never imagined that would be my path. And it's like, I think that sometimes when we are visionaries and trailblazers, we don't even often know what the next fucking month looks like, you know, which is why it's really easy for me to see people's visions, like a company vision or a brand vision or a personal brand vision. For somebody else, I can do that so super easily. For myself, it's a little bit more challenging, right? And I think that's on purpose. I think that if we actually knew like steps 1 through 100, we would be like, what the fuck? You know, if I knew I would be here today, I think I would be so in my head, because I'd be like, how am I going to get there? How am I going to get there? I would overthink the fuck out of it. So as a disruptor, as a trailblazer, as a visionary, you literally don't need to see much beyond the next step, and trusting that that's enough. You know, everyone says like, oh, you just need to know step 1. You don't need to know the whole staircase. It's like, you don't want to know the whole staircase. I'm telling you, it would terrify your human so much that you'd probably go back and get a job that you hate purely out of the fear. There's a reason. Like, our reality is intentionally designed. Do you think that animals were crafted with such care and intention and beauty? Think about the peacock. I don't know why this animal just popped into my head, but a fucking peacock is so beautiful. The feathers, the colors, the way that it displays its feathers when it's either scared or it's threatened. Like, humans didn't create a peacock's mechanisms and beauty. Do you really think that we weren't designed intentionally? Like, it's like, guys, LOL. Like, we were made so intentionally and on purpose. And I think when we can sink into that and lean into that and really believe that, we recognize that everything is happening for us in perfect timing And all we have to do is take one step after the next. And truly, that is what I have done to get here. I really, really, really feel like that is something that I don't even know where I learned this, but I do feel like my parents played a role in like trusting everything was going to work out, which it always has. But I think we can trust and also guide the direction we want to go, right? I knew I wanted to make a difference and make an impact and help people. So I started doing that, right? So as a trailblazer, to wrap this up, as a trailblazer, I think it's important for us to be around other trailblazers, other visionaries, other leaders. And when those moments, those precipice moments, those inflection point moments happen, we have a choice, do we play it safe or do we create some space and actually pursue the thing that we know is the thing? Like, you do know. And again, going back to this question, what am I pretending not to know? What are you pretending not to know about your life? Now, I'm not saying it's not going to terrify you, but I guarantee you that's the thing that's giving you anxiety and all these other things, autoimmune, gut stuff, like other stuff that's showing up in your physical body. It's like you're pretending not to know it, and your soul and your body is trying to communicate with you. So yeah, if you are looking for a like-minded community, come join us in the green room. I'm so freaking excited. See, okay, perfect example. We're going to wrap this up. The green room was created because it's exactly what I was looking for but couldn't find. I wanted a space that was fun. Like I just want to have fun, really. And I'm like, I'm so sick of all these boring ass business programs and people where everyone is just like, oh God. Like, I want to have fun, creativity. I want to be able to talk about anything: sex, money, love, relationships, business, brand building, whatever. And I want to be around a bunch of cool people doing cool shit. That's the requirement, okay? And that's really it in all industries. There's no like, you need to be here, you need to be there, you need to be there. And people figuring it out, but they know they want to do cool shit. And I moved to Boulder about a month ago, and I'm starting to kind of get involved in a few different circles, right? But I haven't found the place where I'm like, holy shit, these people are whoa. Now, I'm not saying I haven't met those people. I'm just saying they're not all in the same room. They're in like, I've met epic people in different places, and I'm like, okay, I want to bring them together. We got to gather, bring them all together in the same room. And some of my best friends I've met online. So that's kind of how the green room was birthed, is like, where do all the epic people go? Where are they? I'm going to bring them together. I'm going to bring these visionaries together, and we're going to have fun. And we're going to make it community centric and not me on a pedestal or me teaching people things, like, no, you can go find that on YouTube. But how can you find actual meaningful connection and friends and fun? And we're going to do merch and all this shit. So I built what I wish existed. It didn't exist yet. There's a ton of memberships and communities out there, but a lot of them are just not what I wanted. And so I built what I wish existed. That is what Trailblazer energy is building what you wish existed, period. Like, full stop. It's the same with this podcast. I feel like even the rebrand, the name, the colors, the way that I want to do the episodes, like everything. It's like, this is what I want to listen to. I'm creating what I want. And I want to give you that code too. Like, you need to create what you want, or else you're not going to want to do it. You got to create what you enjoy. You have to be able to want to listen to your own stuff or consume your own content, or go on your own TikTok page and be like, damn, that's an account I would follow. And if you don't feel that way, then you can change it up. I didn't feel the way about my Instagram because I was realizing, like, I was trying to like prove something. And like, I think there's a lot of like performing energy over there. I mean, I love to perform, but not like, you know what I'm saying? The performing in the way that's like trying to be something you're not, or just trying so hard. And I'm like, I just want to share my channel messages and stories and connect with you people, and like fucking make the comment section epic and just build a whole little family over here. That's all I wanted. That's all I've ever wanted. And when I had that on Instagram, it was amazing. And then it stopped, and then I got sad. So we're back. But that's all I've ever wanted. I think when, again, we will actually wrap it up after this. When you're a trailblazer, it can feel really isolating because nobody else is doing the big things that you're doing or has the big goals or the big dreams that you have. And so you look to your friends who are, I don't want to say doing normal people shit, but like kinda. And even your partner, maybe your partner is like really not pursuing something super unconventional. They might be so supportive, but they don't like get it. They don't get what we just talked about on this episode. And so to have people in your corner that feel the same way, it's just like, oh my God, you get it. I don't have to explain how fucking crazy this is. Even though in however long, because like this is your body of work, like you're gonna probably do this till you die. Like this is it. There's no other option. And people just freaking get it, right? But oh man, I feel like I needed this episode, and I was not planning on talking about my physical body journey and my wellness journey and that comment. But again, we all have these like inflection points, these moments where we're like, we're going to have to make a choice. We're either going to go this way or that way. And you get to decide what you're going to do with it. Are you going to take that as your sole curriculum, alchemize it, turn it into your purpose, and go fuck shit up and trust yourself and build what you wish existed? Or what are you going to do? Right? And I think that's the thing that's going to have the most resonance for people is when you are just doing what you genuinely want to be doing, people want to be a part of it. When you are doing things for other people, trying to serve other people, creating for other people, it never works because that's codependency. It's not it. I promise you. So this is your permission slip to create what you wish existed. This is your invitation to join us in the green room if you're not already in there. And I don't know how long this space is going to last because I might just decide I don't want to do it anymore. So it's month to month, every month. We never know. But yeah, I love you. Thank you for being here. Send this to another visionary, disruptor, trailblazer, anyone that needs this message. Thank you for being here. Share it in your stories, review it, do all the things, whatever you want to do. Honestly, I just appreciate it. And I love you. And let's go get more weird, own our weird, show up in our weird, build whatever weird thing that we want to be building. And to be weird is to be human, right? Humans are weird. So let's own that, show up in that. I love you, and I will see you on the next one.